Welcome along to the Ringside Wrap-Up with Jimmy Shannon, and tonight we are at the Princess Theatre at Wollongabba, and with me tonight's main events contestant, he's come all the way from Sydney, Chris Johnson. Chris, how are you, mate?
Very well, thank you.
Hey, that's good. For a lot of the guys who know Chris, he's normally stuck doing the refereeing, but tonight you're fighting Warpower in the main event. Now, it's not Muay Thai, but it's under the K1 rules.
Yep, that's right. Firstly, I would have loved to have come and refed. Looks like a great event, and Steve puts on an amazing show, so really happy to be here. Yep, happy to be doing the fight as well under K1 rules, so yep, should be fun, should be a good fight.
Yeah, Warpower always comes to fight, so it'd be a good contest with you. Funny thing is, Warpower doesn't win a lot of fights, but I think he's sort of been a bit unlucky sometimes too.
Yep, I agree. Just another Kiwi boy, a tough Kiwi boy. Like you said, he's always there to fight. We've both been around a long time, so
yeah, definitely.
Let's hope we can put on a good fight for ourselves and the crowd, and yep,
Yeah,
should be good.
That's good, and as much as I hate to keep bringing up the football, you guys don't have too many wins up here, so I'm sure just you want to do New South Wales proud as well.
Oh, not the All Blacks.
yeah, that's right. Mate, they're just an amazing team. No, well, that's good, Chris, and your preparation's been good for this? You're looking fit?
Yep, it's good. Yep, I'm fit, good. I've had plenty of time to get ready, and
yeah, good
yep,
stuff.
I'm good to go.
How many fights have you had now? Because like you said, you and Warpower's been around for a lot of years.
Yeah, kickboxing, yeah, between 70 and 80 fights, so.
Sorry?
It's 70 to 80 fights.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
Long.
You're like me, I've bloody lost count too. Hey, good on you, Chris. Well, mate, you got stuff to do and you're taking your time. I say, ladies and gentlemen, it's Chris Johnson. Chris, thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Okay, welcome back to the Ringside Wrap-Up, and it's amazing the blokes you run into. I haven't seen this fella here for 6 years. And of course, it's Nick the Nightmare Tumafai, who was champion just about everything he went for. 3-time state boxing champion, Australian, South Pacific, and a world champion at one stage too, Nick. And it's good to see you back, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
That's good. You've just come, well, you come back 2 years ago, so you told me earlier, back from Dubai, and you're up at Townsville, and you're running your gym up there now.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, so, you know, like NCPT, North Coast personal training.
Yep.
So, you know, it's been really good. Just, you know, be up there. New talent, though. There's a lot of boys coming down here, man. I tell you, be careful.
Hey, that's good. I'm looking forward to tonight because you've got 3 of you lads on tonight as well.
Yeah, mate. You know, like we've been training hard, you know, so just out here to do our thing, you know. We love the game. You know, it's been a great sport to us all, actually. So, you know, so it's good. So, yeah.
Well, that's exactly right. And for the guys at home who know Nick and myself from the old days, like our association goes back to the late 80s. And we've sort of been mates, fought each other a few times, sparred each other a lot more, and sort of knocked around. And that's what our sport does. It keeps friends together, not just for a year or 2 years, but pretty much a lifetime.
Definitely, for sure. You know, I mean, you know, in the end, everyone has respect for each other. And that's what the sport does. Gives, you know, respect to each person. And, you know, and the love for the sport too. So,
mate, the love's unreal. Yeah, Nick, you had such a long career too. You must sort of enjoy just doing the training. I find when I train my fighters, I'm more nervous now for them than what I ever was when I fought.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it's you know, like, it's passing down the knowledge that you've learned throughout, you know, your own career and passing it down to the next generation.
Yes.
So, you know, they learn. And it's their turn to shine, you know, end of the day. So, yeah, that's what it's all about.
That's right, because a lot of trainers, you go to fight shows now, and you see the referees, the judges, the blokes helping the guys into the ring. They're all ex-fighters, so it's not like some sports where some guys just have their career and piss off. Yeah, we stick with it.
that's it. You know, we stick to it. You know, it's like I say, you got to have a love and a passion for it. You know, and obviously we do have that. So you know,
That's for
like,
sure.
and passing it down to the next generation, it's been great. So you know.
It's all right. Okay, Nick, I can see you're concentrating a little bit on what you're doing too, and your man has been very patient with me, so we'll let you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nightmare, Nick Tumafai. Wrap up with Jimmy Shannon, and with me is Brock Smith. He promoted No Surrender last weekend. Brock, it was a great show. You must be pretty happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah, it came up all right. It was a bit stressful as usual, with fights falling over last minute and having to bring some guys into state, but I got pretty lucky. Andy Parnham from PTJ sort of hooked me up with Sebastian Holmes and Thai boy from SRG down there to fight Matty Webb, which, you know, Nick Trask and Sebastian Holmes was an amazing fight. You know, that was probably one of the highlights, apart from Sarah and Tia, which was just an amazing fight. You know, and Matty Webb took a huge step up fighting the Thai. But yeah, it all washed up pretty good, and, you know, hopefully we get the same sort of card again. Yeah, well, one thing I found, your crowd was a lot bigger this time around. When you're clashing with River Fire, that can happen for you. But the fights were easily as good as your first show. And personally, I think you're on a good thing with No Surrender. Yeah, it's the first show was good. It was just an oversight on my behalf, putting it on the same night as River Fire. But you know, these things happen when you've had a few head knocks. But
I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, not at all. But everything sort of panned out good. The fights were good. First one, the fights were great. You know, Brad Traynor and Bryce Maguire, still to this day, is probably one of the best fights I've seen.
Oh, Brad will be happy with this, mate.
Yeah, Bradley.
Yeah, there you go, Brad. I'll look after you, mate.
Yeah, so no, it ended up good, and hopefully we can keep it rolling and keep them going.
Speaking of keeping it rolling, Brock, what's the ETA for your next show?
We're looking in September, but this time it's going to probably be the week before River Fire, which I think is the 30th, so it's probably going to be around the 23rd again. Yeah, good. You can miss out on the football grand final too. Yeah, exactly. So I learned a few lessons. Being in the new venue, scheduling's a huge thing with it. So hopefully we sort it all out for the next one. Good stuff. Now, Brock, you had an amazing run of knockouts at some stage about a year and a half ago, and you won that state title. Have you got any plans to come back to the ring, or are you a little bit too busy? Yeah, it's been hard. I've had a pretty rough trot at the end of last year with trying to get time to train and getting a bit older and a bit fatter. I rematched a guy that I beat pretty easily last time, and we went the distance, and it was a pretty tough fight. So yeah, it was. Hopefully we can do that one again, Lukey. But yeah, I'm looking probably June, July to get back in there. And the way I'm looking at it, this year's probably my last year at it. You know, I'm 31, and that's probably getting a bit long in the tooth. Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that either. But look, you also run your own business from home, and you're with your carpentry and all that stuff. So it makes Brock Smith a very busy man. Yeah, there's I'm spread pretty thinly most of the time, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, you love the sport and you got to make money, so you got to work them in together. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't get rich training fighters, mate, do you? No, all fighting. No, it's all man's game. Yeah, that it is too. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Brock, thank you very much for taking your time out. Brock's actually judging tonight, so he hasn't even got a night off doing that. But ladies and gentlemen, Brock Smith.
Okay, welcome back to the ringside wrap-up, and we have the other half of tonight's main events, Warper Axe. How are you, Warper? Big main event tonight for you.
Thank you. I'm feeling really good. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, that's good. Yeah, I was talking to Phil before. He tells me he's training unreal at the moment, and I know you told me earlier you're getting back to a more natural weight for you.
Yeah, look, coming in at 88 kilo, 88 kilo fighter. I'm so much more comfortable with the weight, and you know, cutting 1 or 2 kilos is easy for me at my age now. So you know, I was down on my luck in the 75 kilo, 79 kilo, having to lose up to about 15 kilos just for a fight. So you know, I believe that, you know, putting that weight back on basically will genetically modify my performance.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because weight cuts are one thing, but losing 15k, that's a big cut at any type of language, and it can't be good for you in the long run.
That's right, and at the end of the day, it's about my health as a 41-year-old. You know, it's about being smart. If I want to stay in the fighting industry, then I really have to fight according to my age and my capabilities and my caliber, and so that at the end of the day that we're getting good fights at these shows, so quality fights.
That's right too. And now you've been based up at Toowoomba with Philip for a while. Phil's got a show coming up on the 29th. I suppose he'll probably try and talk into that one too.
Man, he doesn't have to talk me into it. I'm pretty keen to get on those shows. I love the fighting community that we have here in Queensland. We're a good knit of family, friends and family, and I love being a part of it and supporting it, and you know, also honouring the greats of the sport. You know, we're talking about without people like Ian Jacobs and Steve Vick, sure. and you know, the Cannon, the Bannon, like all these famous people that really have opened up a door of opportunity for us to be here fighting today. And if it wasn't for them, we'd just be bag slammers. So
that's exactly right, and that goes back to the days of Stan the Man, who was the first one who really put us on the map too.
100%, you know, and I find that homage needs to be paid to these legends, because if they're not paid and we forget who they are, then we forget the sport. We don't know the sport at all. So I think education, as far as the sport goes, is a massive must if you're going to call yourself or label yourself as a fighter. So
that's right too. And your fitness is good. You good to go to the 5 rounds tonight?
Oh, look, my fitness is fairly good, and you know, I always fight from the heart, Jimmy.
You do too?
Yeah, I fight from the heart, and I fight for all the right reasons, you know. I fight for the people. I fight as a role model, as an influence to people that are looking at coming into the sport. Yeah. And, you know, let's see if we can go the 5 rounds. So.
That's right. Hey, if things go your way, and why not go 5 rounds too, Warper? Hey, good luck tonight, mate. Man, cool, it's great talking to you. Everyone, it's Warper Axe.
Cool. Thank you.
A word with you, mate. It ended up being a short night's work, but there's no way you can tell that when you get in there. And, you know, Warper, he didn't go down. You know, the referee stepped in. I thought he went pretty well, but you just think on fire today, your kicks on point. Your hand speed was incredible.
Yeah, first of all, can I just thank Steve and his missus for bringing me up here. An amazing bloke outside the ring. And as you can see, he puts on a bloody good show as well. To Warper and Phil, we all grew up in the same part of New Zealand, and that I've got a world of respect for the pair of them. I'm an old man now, and Warper's been around with me and fought the best of them and that as well, so much love to you. Big thank you for everybody coming out. I love fighting up here. I got all my family and friends here. Thank you so much for coming along. And even to the crew that flew up from Sydney. Amazing. And of course I do all this for my little boys, and they're in Sydney wanting to be here tonight. But not only do
I fight for them, but I wake up for them and live for them every day. So thank you so much for having me. Just, if you don't mind me returning a favour, I'd like to do my own little haka for Pa and you guys here. Haka! Come on!
Tay tay te vô ơn